Welcome. State of the Revolt. Revolters. Yeah. Let me pull this chair up. Hey friends, welcome people. I'm your host, Siraj. I see that's been giving me some trouble lately. If I'm a radio or live stream, if I'm a host, I have to think of a cool host name, like or like a radio show kind of kooky. I can't just be Siraj because that's my normal name. I was thinking of doing like my imaginary rap alias, Glyph, but then it's just Glyph and it's just flat. It needs more. I was thinking Glyph Curmudgeon. Can I get some? Is that a good one? Glyph Curmudgeon? Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. So, I'll be Siraj this time around. Maybe next time I'll be Glyph Curmudgeon. Postmaster Generals, we need more of those. Cool. So, we're going to start with the most important news of the week. Nice effects. The most important news of the week. Maybe the month. I don't want to say it. Maybe even 2018. It just got revealed a couple of days ago. But guys, the XFL is back. The Extreme F League, Football League. Naturally, it's never good enough to have something as it is. We gotta get to the extreme version. Like fuck normal Doritos. I want extreme Doritos. Extreme Zesty Ranch, preferably. So, XFL. There's a couple of speculations as to why the XFL is coming back. First off, well, as we all know, NFL viewership has been plummeting because, people are waking up to the fact that that shit's super boring. So, there, the viewership is plummeting, and so naturally, Vince McMahon. I wish we could get like a big picture of Vince McMahon in the background. Okay, well, can I send you one now? Just everyone needs a few pictures of this guy on the computer. All right, well, Google him. Google him and Donald Trump bet. There's a bet, and they go wrestle each other, and it's pretty good. It's all real. So there's a couple of rumors as to why it's happening. The ratings were a catalyst, but it looks like Vince McMahon wants to make an event or some sort of sports league where players are refused to take a knee to the anthem, otherwise they get expelled. He's trying to capitalize on that publicity. Why not? I mean, the reality of it is, if you take anything, think anything that's boring, the DMV, some political hearing, and you add people beating the shit out of each other, it always becomes entertaining, right? Yeah, right? So why not do that with football more, Hey, I'm all for it. Go XFL. Right? I think the XFL will be pretty rad. Oh, yeah, I mean, why not? There needs to be stories before each game, like some sort of drama building up to it. Like, one team, banged, the coach's girlfriend of the other team, and so that coach has to, the whole team, yeah. So that coach is like, yo, and it all comes out before the match. Vince, take some notes. Let's get this done. If you need someone to help write these operas before a match, I can help you. So I may have to quickly leave the scene for a second at some point to let one of our guests into No, oh, we have people here. I have goons. We have goons. I have goons to do this. Lots of goons. Goon 1. We have a guest. Can you let them in? All right, cool. Yeah. So, XFL. So I was thinking we can talk about PSYOPs, psychological operations. It's it's an interesting subject. It's something we can dive into. There's a couple good examples, but people may not be familiar with that term. So I'll pretty much explain it to you. PSYOP stands for psychological operation. So PSYOPs are often what you would call they're tactics used by the government or different bodies to study reaction, the public's reaction to certain instances. For example, someone could say that false missile warning in Hawaii that happened recently was a psychological operation. They knew people were going to freak out, but they needed to measure how people freak out in an authentic situation that isn't some pre-warned drill. So there's been a couple of instances of psychological warfare that's often done through propaganda campaigns. It's more of the art of public manipulation. During MK Ultra, they were testing various different ways to manipulate people. And, MK Ultra is a pretty spicy subject. We're always going to go back to MK Ultra because who doesn't want to talk about that? A lot of juicy MK Ultra stuff. What it's Charles Manson. I think we tapped on this last time a little, but Charles Manson had some sort of connection to MK Ultra as well. I think the prison he was sentenced to was one of the same prisons where the CIA came out to doing tests on the prisoners. Now, I don't know if this was before or after all the crazy Charles Manson family stuff happened, but that's an interesting thing to note. So we can. Let's see here. I was gonna talk about, but I need one of my friends a co-host from the White Cube Society to help me with this one. We're gonna talk about celebrity clones. There's goofy conspiracies floating around that what was it? Miley Cyrus was killed in a car crash and was replaced. Do you ever heard these clones? Avril Lavigne was a clone. Everyone's clones these days. You never know. Let's see. Celebrity clones. Let's see what clone. Miley Cyrus conspiracy. I'll search that. Yeah, exactly. It's so essentially she was a Disney puppet growing up, and eventually she wanted to start breaking off of that Disney branding, Disney image, and Disney wasn't having any of it, so they iced her and then cloned her, which is what I would do if I was Disney and I could make clones. Why not? Yeah, exactly, right there. Yeah. So, Walt Disney was frozen. He's frozen underground right now. He's cryogenically frozen.
That's why they made Frozen to bury Google results.
No way. Okay, so yeah, I need to repeat that. So our tech man, what? Oh, she just said door code. I thought that meant she was here. Anyways, it's my bad. Goon one. I sent my goon on a goose hunt. I'll get a call when that person arrives. But so I just heard from our tech man, from his sources on the deep web, that the movie Frozen was made so that when you search Disney Frozen, it takes the Google search results away from Walt Disney's frozen, cryogenically frozen body, and brings it to this movie that's not about Walt Disney being cryogenically frozen. But he is, and if you go to It's a Small World, spin around 3 times in the ride and say Walt Disney, he comes out of the ground. Speaking of which, Disneyland has a prison it's underground. Yeah. Disneyland Prison is what it's called. This is a real thing. I've known people that have been sent to Disneyland Prison because Disneyland has actually listened to a podcast on this recently. Disneyland, when it was first creating its business ethic, whatnot, and how it was going to structure itself as a company, hired very powerful people. A former head of CIA, I believe, came into the program and started helping Disney. But Disney essentially through legal loopholes was able to, specifically Disney World, operate under as if it's not part of its own sovereign government. And yeah, it's its own city, has its own city council, all that stuff. And so it has its own prison as well. And that's where they keep the naughty kids. That's where they keep the Jafars. That's where they keep Scars, the lion, Scar, from Ants, the movie. So Disneyland is a prison. Don't go there. But, maybe you should and report back. I'd like to hear some. If anyone has some stories of Disneyland Prison, please leave it in the comments because I would love to hear your stories. Or you can call in and talk shit. Call in. We're going to have a number set up eventually. We have a number tonight. We're going to keep it like we don't want people talking shit the whole time. Yeah. So, yeah, we do want to hear from you, but not the whole time. So if anyone has some Disneyland Prison stories, I would love to hear them. Actually, message Jeremy. So let's see. We were talking about Disneyland. Yeah, so other stuff, but as Disneyland does have a prison, but I hear they're experimenting with some cool stuff. They have like Raver Day at Disneyland, where everyone just, has a Raver Day. And that's pretty rad. They don't organize it. Other people do. But, at least they let you do it. So. Yeah, that's pretty. Oh, I'm digging these tones. Pretty scary. Oh, nice, and we have the Google number almost set up. Okay, I'm going to post some info on my Facebook so people start to get ready to know that they can call us. Oh, okay. A little, ready, quick jam? You want to share a quick jam? Yeah. Let's take a quick. We're gonna use this space to showcase. Just one. Oh, you have a jam. There's a jam. There's a jam thing here. Well, look at that. I get my lovely assistant / semi-regular co-host to hop on the step into the arena, and let's discuss some cool stuff. Yeah, it sounds like it's working. That's some bad weed. So, we got this one operational. Cool.
Am I in the shot? What's up, people? Good to see y'all again.
So,
What is a conspiracy?
I was thinking of discussing some.
I had one thing on my mind just when
Let's go, yeah.
when you brought up the NFL ratings earlier. I heard from someone had the theory that it was just because of the players taking a knee. And I was like, that's nonsense. You really think that the ratings are that much lower just because of that?
I don't really think so,
Yeah,
but
they were
because the thing is, they've been,
upset about
to
it,
my
personally.
understanding, they've been going down for a little while.
So it's been
Right.
a trend, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but
That was just on my mind.
I welcome the XFL.
I'm
What else is
excited
on your
for
mind,
that.
Xander? What else is going on?
I was listening to a really interesting podcast on meditation. That was a fun one.
Tell me anything interesting.
Basically that you can do it anytime, anywhere. It doesn't have to be this thing you do just in your room at your shrine. Yeah, it's something you can kind of just anytime go back to the breath and realize, just be fully present in the moment.
Yeah, something about the breath. Not many people really think about this, and I'm sure I've heard some guy say this, but I can't say who it was because I wouldn't really know. But people really don't put two and two together and see how fundamentally connected consciousness and breath are. It's like, if you really think about it, what happens when you lose your air? You fucking die, So if you get a dwindling amount of it, or if you get smaller and smaller amounts, you lose circulation and blood to your brain, oxygen to your brain, blood cells die. If you lose all of it, you die within a couple of minutes. So isn't it reasonable to believe that if you take in more oxygen, you get more life and more consciousness?
It's the Wim Hof method.
Yeah, that's essentially the Wim Hof method in a nutshell.
He's a guy who will jump into freezing water in just his shorts, and stay in there for hang out like it's a hot tub. Not only that, he climbed Mount Everest in just shorts and open-toed climbing shoes.
I believe he's done that a couple of times.
He's taught other people over the age of 60 to do it.
He takes 6-year-olds up Mount Kilimanjaro in their boxers. I think that's pretty right. So I actually
all with the breath.
Experimented with the Wim Hof method just because it's been my goal since I was a kid to get superpowers.
Yeah.
So, just fuck around, see what works, see what doesn't. A few things work. Wim Hof is actually, in my experience, one of them. So it requires, let's say, I'd say 15 minutes of effort a day, 15 to 20 minutes. There's essentially basic stretching, and then you do breath work, some deep breathing work for about total of 15 minutes, and or 15 to 20 minutes, and then you take cold showers. See, that's the part that's hard for everyone. Doing breath work and doing a little exercises in the morning, everyone does that. But taking a cold shower,
cold.
Taking a cold shower, that's rough. But if you start to think about it, no different than swimming in the ocean. If you start to swim in the ocean, it's going to be cold at first, but if you give yourself a couple of minutes, your body adjusts and you're fine. And cold showers are the same way.
You build up day over day, too.
You build up immunity to the cold. So I started doing this Wim Hof stuff. It's a 10-week program, and I did it for about 8 weeks. And I didn't finish it, but I got my answers. I didn't need to. Within 1 week to a week and a half of doing it, my lung capacity increased from 45 seconds I was able to hold it from 45 seconds, and it went to a little over 3 minutes.
That's crazy.
That was in 1 week, and I think
Wow.
by week 6 or 7, I was able to do 60 push-ups without taking a breath.
What?
Yeah. And so, I mean, mind you, I was doing push-ups beforehand, but just not. I never tried doing it without taking a breath, but
Yeah.
I was able to do that. So, I mean, it works, but you know what, dudes? I'm lazy as fuck. I don't want to do that shit like all the time. I just want to know that I can,
Yeah,
So
no, it's there. Have
one
it in
day,
your
if
back
I'm
pocket.
off my rocker in Joshua Tree or in the woods and I get lost, I'll know how to keep myself alive for like 20 minutes before like a vulture gets me or a hawk or whatever lives. We killed all the animals, right? There's no animals that exist in California. I think we got them all.
There's definitely there's one.
There's one mountain lion.
They know its name and shit, like, and what it does.
Yeah, dude. His name's like Eli. He, listens to Kid Rock.
There's a good amount of mountain lions. That's why you don't see any deer.
Oh, I thought we just killed them all too.
No, nope. In other states, they have deer running wild because they don't have any natural predators. So it's like more car accidents are caused by deers than anything else. It's like a couple $1 million of damage done by deer every year in Michigan.
You'd think they'd learn, right? You'd think that, like, just don't head towards the speeding thing with lights on it. I don't know. It's hard. I don't know what it's like being a deer.
Isn't a deer struck by headlights? They're just like,
yeah, exactly. They just freeze. But, I mean, hey.
Moose will do it to trains.
Yeah.
A moose will do it to a train.
Oh.
And, like, it'll crash a train because it's so
Wow.
big.
If we had any footage of mooses getting hit by trains, send that to Jeremy. Jeremy Rascal. You know how to find him.
Did you happen to log into Google Voice?
Oh, and I didn't log into Google Voice yet. Maybe
Voice.
we can take some calls. Maybe.
Just leave it open. It'll take
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let me set it. Yeah.
We covered my favorite hot topic last week, so I'm trying to think what's good these days.
Were dinosaurs real?
Yes.
Nuclear tests.
Which nuclear test?
Hawaii.
Oh,
Hawaii. Fake alarm.
Hawaii. Yeah, that was that must have been the scariest thing of all time for those people. Yeah, I wonder what happened. Right, the people said it was like a malfunction in the system, and just but the warning that came out said this is not a test to the people.
A UX. Oh.
The test button was right next to the actual button. This is supposedly the story they're going with. The UX error.
What?
Yeah, that.
I,
Let me pull out
Google Voice. How do I?
device.
Voice. Oh, voice.google.com. Okay.
Oh, I hear they have Murakami paintings in LA
Where?
at the Broad.
Where?
Downtown at the Broad.
Where's downtown?
We need to go.
Oh, okay, for sure.
So that's something that's been on my brain.
Wow, that's really awesome. Is it in
Yeah.
town for a long time?
I think it's a permanent collection.
Oh my god.
So yeah, everyone go check that out. Murakami is the best.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, some great art.
Go.
Some great art. Look, Google Murakami, and if you don't like it, get out.
Yeah, if you don't like it, just that's fine, I guess. You know.
We each have our own taste. If you don't like
Do
it,
we?
yours is wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I wouldn't trust someone that doesn't like Murakami, to be honest. It's like someone that doesn't like pizza. Would you really trust someone that doesn't like pizza? Really think about this, guys. Would you trust someone that doesn't like pizza?
What about someone that likes pizza too much? They can no longer eat it because they ate too much pizza.
I mean, that's okay, I guess.
We like those people. We understand their plight.
Yeah, I get that. I get that, but it's like, that person like put in work. They ate pizza, but like I wouldn't trust someone that's
Just
like
straight up, this is gross.
Pizza's gross. Let's get like broccoli or something. Yeah, none of those people.
Broccoli's good for you though. It has sulforaphane in it, and they've shown that actually they gave people who smoked cigarettes a cup of shredded broccoli sprouts a day, which is the highest dose of sulforaphane.
Yeah.
And it pulled 60% of the benzene out of their system in a week. And that's like, benzene is one of the most harsh carcinogens. So even if you're not a cigarette, and that was in cigarette smokers, so they're getting a ton of benzene per cigarette. But if you did that, if you're a healthy person but you live in a city or something, that could still be of great use to you. So get your broccoli sprouts and or broccoli. It has it in broccoli too, but there's a much higher dosage in broccoli sprouts. And when you shred the broccoli or the broccoli sprouts, it releases even more. It's part of the protective mechanism of the plant, and that's why it protects us. It's very interesting.
Eat your broccoli, guys.
Eat your fucking broccoli.
My parents are right. Broccoli is good, I guess. I mean, there's ways to make, guys. Might be one of the best kept secrets. There's ways to make vegetables good. You can make them taste good.
Oh, butter's not bad for you if it's grass-fed cows also.
Grass-fed butter?
So throw some grass-fed butter, some salt on that broccoli.
Just throw a bunch of grass on your butter. Just feed your butter a bunch of grass.
Grass-fed free-range corn. That's what it's all about.
Free-range corn. Dude, free-range Jonathan Davis. Grass-fed Jonathan Davis is one of... It's a delicacy in Switzerland, actually. My uncle is Swiss. No, but I mean, I should say yeah. Why not? Yeah. There's cooler lies. Maybe he is Swiss. You know, borders are made up, man. They're not real. Yeah, like we're all Swiss, bro.
We're all neutral.
Where's our number? So is it? So did you post it on the thing? Okay, for sure. So,
call Siraj 213-394-0261.
Holy shit!
Call
it's there
Siraj.
on the screen. It's right there. That's pretty rad. Okay, well we got that.
Are you streaming it on the wiki right now?
No. Who?
Oh.
Yeah.
They're gonna be
I wanted to see that the number was up and really quickly. You know, all that. Yeah. I was looking at myself. There was a really good looking dude on the screen, man. Couldn't help it. No homo.
Any new good conspiracy theories?
There's always
the Tom DeLonge alien
Tom
stuff.
DeLonge. Oh, let's talk about that a little. Let's talk.
That came up at work today.
Yeah, let's actually talk about this. Did anyone listen to Blink-182?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
the live album.
The lead singer just put his Blink-182 career aside to go and spill the beans on aliens. And he's been working with like chiefs of the NSA and CIA and other
top Pentagon officials.
People, and ever since he started saying that essentially there's going to be something called soft disclosure. Nice. Soft disclosure. And essentially, everyone when they think about like, oh, when's the government going to tell us about aliens? Like they think it's going to be, Trump, having a meeting in front of the White House one day, just be like, yep, jig's up. There's fucking aliens. We've been lying. No, come on, get real. Like, if they're going to tell us, it'd be in a way that's more subtle and gradual over time. So if you notice, actually, the last month or two, there's been on that douchebag Tucker Carlson show. He's been doing a weekly segment on UFOs. And, yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, Tucker fucking Carlson. Like, yeah, dude, what was it? Like, I heard someone describe him as that guy that no one liked in college and that somehow got a show.
I did hear
that was probably a Daily Show or something that said that. But, like, yeah, that's the best way to describe him. But you know what? Maybe he tried some ayahuasca and was like, aliens, man, they're out there. Okay, yeah, I know he didn't do that. Okay. Yeah. But you never know. What? What's the New World Order theory? Well, okay, we got the Tim is breaking the fourth wall. He's gonna
the master production man.
Here, use mine.
The theory. This is a little hot.
It's a hot mic.
The theory is
mic.
that they're rolling out all this alien content right around now, so they can have a false flag alien attack declare martial law globally and establish the New World Order. Because, like, they probably have alien tech that they can use to make something look like an alien attack.
Yeah.
Tech 100 years.
It's a fun
advanced.
theory. I don't
No
know if
doubt.
it's what's going down.
That was what was just going through my mind. Going back to the old Reagan quote, which was it would take an extraterrestrial threat to unite us.
Totally. And that idea was originally popularized, to my understanding, that theory by the comic The Watchmen. I highly recommend people check that out by Alan Moore. Alan Moore, totally cool dude. We might have to spend a whole nother episode talking about that guy, but essentially he's the guy that wrote
on the show.
V for Vendetta. Yeah, Alan Moore, get on the show. We'll rail some K and talk about comics, bruh. He's old wizard dude, has this like epic fucking beard. He looks like honestly just a crazy person. But I mean, which smart person isn't crazy? I guess, right? I don't know. I'm trying to think of smart people. Yeah, smart people that aren't crazy are just fucking boring, right? Like, then what? It's like, what do you? No one wants to like see you do math, bro. Like, build some lights or like engineer some art car or something. Stuff that really help. Let's see. I was thinking. Yeah, we'll touch back on celebrity conspiracies. How come every time a fucking celebrity dies, there's a conspiracy about it? Like, I get it, like...
Because they're famous?
I get it at certain... yeah, I guess because they're famous, but, like, it makes sense with certain people. Like, Tupac. Like, he was a huge cultural influencer amongst a very volatile age, like, promoting kind of unloyalty to the government or like authority, opposition to authority. It would make sense to ice him. But like when the Illuminati does not give a fuck if Robin Williams was doing something, they're not after Robin fucking. I was hearing shit about like Robin Williams was making the world too happy. No, he wasn't. Like, he wasn't. Yeah, but like, yeah, but then. Yeah, she's right actually. So she said laughter is like a good way to fight the man, and I was gonna talk some shit, but it is a good way. Up to a certain point, like Dave Chappelle uses laughter now, and he's a really good thing. But he went through it all, man. If you saw his latest stand-up, he'd talk about essentially
really good.
One of the stand-ups is essentially a coded message as to why he went to South Africa. It's not that coded because he talks about it, but like he brings it up at the beginning of the stand-up and then brings it back around at the end saying, and that's why I fucking moved to South Africa.
Way to ruin it.
Well, yeah. Jesus dies at the end of Dave Chappelle's stand-up. Bible conspiracies.
The Book of Judas.
Book of Judas. What? I don't remember the Book of Judas.
The Book of Judas.
I like the Dead Sea Scrolls. Those are my shits.
When Constantine rewrote the Bible, whenever he did, when he was emperor of Rome, of the Roman Empire, he took out a couple of books at least, and one of them was thought to be what was called the Book of Judas, which basically is the arc of Snape kills Dumbledore to get onto the inside team. He had Judas betray him from the beginning. He was like, you're going to have to do this thing for me. You're going to have to sell me out so I can be crucified, and everyone's going to hate you. They're going to think you're the worst person, but this is the only way that I can spread my message and ascend.
It's like the boss from Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which I just spoiled for you guys with. Okay, that
We're
came
spoiling
out like
a lot of things. We spoiled
ago.
Harry Potter, too.
Guys, by the way, we did spoil Harry Potter. Okay, Solid Snake kills Dumbledore. Snape lives throughout Harry Potter. But, yo, by the way, guys, Metal Gear fucking Solid, y'all should play that. I mean, on some
great game.
It's a work of art. It taps into all that crazy.
Which one are you talking about, too?
Snake Eater.
Snake Eater.
I mean, it's the most beautiful story out of all of them, I think.
Phantom Pain's pretty dope too.
Phantom Pain's pretty cool, but Snake
that's
doesn't
if you
talk
want.
as
If that's
much.
if you want an open world one.
But he doesn't talk as much. You want Snake to give sass and Kojima
True.
wasn't behind. I mean, Phantom Pain's great. I'm not gonna lie, but Snake Eater,
I'm excited for Kojima's own game, but on the new studio.
the one with Daryl from Walking Dead. That's his name. Yeah. That
gonna be
looks
good.
like a trip. I mean, Kojima fucks with the psychedelics. He has a game called Metal Gear Acid. Like it's one of the Metal Gear games, and it's like, why else are you calling it that, dude? The game has almost nothing to do with like an actual acid. You just wanted to hint it. You wanted to throw it in there. What was I talking about before we got into Kojima?
God.
Bibles.
The Bible conspiracy. Book of Judas.
Book of Judas.
Dead Sea Scrolls. What about the Dead Sea
Well, I wasn't going to
Scrolls?
bring up the Dead Sea Scrolls because I honestly don't know too much about them. I just know Evangelion is about the Dead Sea Scrolls. But I wanted to make a point as to or a different way of thinking about the Bible and I guess Christianity. I once heard someone say that you can never you don't understand the Bible unless you can read Aramaic. Like if you can actually read the language it's in, then you can actually understand it. But once it's been translated, retranslated, translated, we all know the term lost in translation. So we got to think how much is lost once it comes to English, which is how many layers below layers after Aramaic. By layers, I mean like dialects of language that come after.
Then there's some weird things in Aramaic, specifically like on and near can mean the same thing. So Jesus walked near the water, Jesus walked on the water.
There you go, and that's Keep going.
Another one is I forget the symbol for one is also a letter. It's the first letter of their alphabet because their alphabet is also their numeric system. So sometimes it could be a number, and sometimes it could be a letter.
That's pretty neat. So their alphabet was also their numeric system. See, you hear that being bilingual often helps cognitive development, cognitive process. What people don't know as much is language, and we're going to be talking about this subject a lot because it happens to be one of my favorite subjects, but language controls your reality.
I think about that a lot.
Your language controls your reality. Now, in order for this to sound totally legit, I'd have to name the actual source that did the study, but you can look it up. Just Google Africa Color Vision Study. And it was I had to learn this in my psych class in college, but they had two different tribes in Africa, and they measured what shades of color were visible. And the tribe that was inland could see 3 different shades of green that the tribe by the water couldn't see, and the tribe by the water could see different shades of blue that the tribe inland couldn't see. Now, biologically, that makes sense. If you're inland, you need to be able to have a better idea of where hydration is by seeing the hue of greens on the plants. But it goes a little deeper because what they concluded was that this tribe could see those colors because they had words for him. And once you learn those words, you started to be able to see them. So when you take that outside of the context of colors, it translates to a lot more than that. Like, you can have, and I'm gonna take it back to that KRS-One lecture I heard. I highly recommend watching them on YouTube. They're really good. But he talks about how if an electrician, a painter, and a plumber walked into a room, let's say they walked into this room and were watching me speak, they would all be seeing 3 completely different rooms. See, the painter, he doesn't just see white. He doesn't just see white walls. He'll see eggshell. He'll see beige. He'll see maroon. And he'll have those words for it, and that's a thing to him. The plumber can see how damp the walls are and know which pipes are running through the walls. So when he's looking at the room, he sees a completely different thing because he has the language for these, fucking pipes or whatever. And the electrician, he's seeing different, the wiring, and he's paying attention to that. And they're seeing, so in the end, you get what I'm saying. They're seeing 3 completely different rooms. So what's the moral of this?
It's the same room.
It's the same room, but they're seeing 3 different ones. And so the moral we can draw from this is read fucking books, dude.
Learn 3 disciplines.
Learn 3 disciplines, sure. Yeah, learn 3 see 3 rooms. Learn all the disciplines. You know? See as many rooms as you want, man. I'm all for it. Bigger house, you know?
Another interesting thing when it comes to different languages is, I can't think of a specific example, but you'll hear it all the time. Like, that feeling when you left your oven on at home. Oh, they have 7 words for that in German, you know?
Yeah.
Or like the Inuit tribe had 100 different terms for snow, you know?
I believe it's Sanskrit. I could be misquoting, but I believe in Sanskrit the word for yesterday is the same as the word for tomorrow.
Oh, I like that.
So that immediately slips you into a mode of consciousness where only the present moment is the real thing, because tomorrow's the same thing as yesterday. It's not now.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Imagine how different society would be if we thought like that. Or if that was the language. See, colonization, it is done through brute force here and there. It is done through culture. But the main weapon of colonization is language. You get whatever tribe, culture, whoever, to speak your language, the dominator language. And that instantly erases the way of thought they used to adopt. That erases their belief systems, and it makes them coded into your reality. And so that's interesting. So that whole subject is called neuro-linguistic programming. It's really interesting. Some sources on that are John C. Lilly, who we talk about, Robert Anton Wilson. Really good resources on that. It's a fascinating subject, and I think learning about it can really help the way you think. I know the way I started changing after I started I started taking things way less seriously, and I don't think that's backfired. I'm having a great time. And I'm talking to you guys. We got a call, but how do we put this on so everyone can hear this person? There's an auxiliary cord. So we got a call, guys. We're gonna try and. Okay. And I'll put on speaker. Yeah, there we go. Hello? Person.
No, it won't come out of the thing.
Give me a second. Oh man, we have a shit ton.
We have the caller.
We want us.
Not just a caller.
The caller. This guy is a professional alligator wrestler on the side. His name's Daniel Herzog. His main job is selling cotton candy at carnivals. He's really good at it. Okay, there we go. You got it? Okay, it's about.
Yeah, we're getting the caller on here.
Hey,
you can take it on.
Something?
Yeah.
Yo, caller. We have a
caller one.
Caller one, our lucky first caller. You are getting a brick in the wall. I don't know which house, but there's gonna be a brick somewhere with your name on it. Maybe I'll throw it through someone's window.
brick house.
If you have any enemies, I can throw it through their window and I'll put your name on it.
Oh, it's like a little lag. I have to turn my sound off one time. Wait, so what is this?
What is this?
No, is this just like a live is there I was listening to the last 5 minutes. Is there a subject matter, or is this just a free form?
We're
Conspiracy
discussing
theories?
we're discussing the revolution. Okay, this is serious stuff. We're
Oh no! I was thinking about the Eskimo thing the other day. The snow thing.
Wait, snow?
Remember the 100? There's a bunch of words for snow, right?
Yeah. The Inuit.
Yeah.
Inuit thing.
Is that real, or is that just a white person discovering it?
That
being
could be. That would be even fun. I hope that's the true reality.
I haven't looked it up yet, but it's got to be just some dude from Belgium being they said snow a lot. So
Please
this is
research this.
Well, people from Belgium are really smart. Okay, so
yeah, I have not looked this up. I was just joking about it the other day, and I'm just thinking that some dude in the 1700s were just like they're talking about snow.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
That's all they're talking about.
Prove him wrong. Who's gonna go up to an Inuit and be like, "How many
That's
words
what I mean.
of snow
Like,
do you have?"
it's like, does anyone
Like,
speak
you know, he's
Eskimo?
right.
Like, I don't know.
We should do that. We should move to Belgium and print some studies about things that no one can prove. Like, you know.
I mean, I'm sure there's a real
They
answer, but like,
only eat
there's no
waffles.
way they have over 100 words, right?
I mean, I don't.
Not
know.
actually 100 words, maybe.
I
But
mean,
yeah, well, who knows?
I'll just call my Inuit homies and
Yeah.
like Rush.
True fact, they can live off of only whale fat and seal fat
That's pretty.
Yeah, that's
Seal
probably,
and meat.
That's probably true.
and meat.
Yeah, I mean, I would do that.
No vegetables.
I mean, seals look.
So that was
nice.
like my only thought. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think everything else. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you calling to let us know
That was a
not to trust
great
people from
aside.
Belgium.
Yeah. No, I mean, I have no. I just made that up. It could be like an English dude. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I probably don't like, but whatever. It makes life a little cooler. They might have a few words for snow. It makes sense. I mean, the African tribes could see different colors of blue and green, so why not see more
Yeah.
snow?
The Sanskrit one, if that's true, is probably the most interesting one.
Yeah,
actually.
the Sanskrit one is really interesting.
Eat your mic.
Yeah, the Sanskrit. There we go. The Sanskrit one is pretty interesting.
That one's the one where it's like, oh, that's like a totally different place.
Any
looking at almost
conspiracies
everything.
you want to talk about? Caller one.
Conspiracy theories. I mean, Pizzagate's a fucking classic.
Pizzagate is a classic. Wow.
Pizzagate is like one of my favorites.
I mean, that's one that there's many layers to Pizzagate.
Yeah.
Daniel, correct me if I say anything or if you have anything that you want to chime in.
Yeah, I've gone pretty deep. I just love that they were like pepperoni.
Yeah, so it's like if you order a certain kind of pizza, it's code word for kid. So I can only think of
yeah.
the
Those are
fat neck
different
beards
types
that
of
come
children.
that get their
of
own
course.
custom pizza one day, walk in and just let me get a double pepperoni with extra grilled onions, and then they bring out a little kid to him or something. He's like, oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
like that means a small Puerto Rican boy.
Exactly. Yeah, it's code. Different pizzas are dude, you know how confusing that fucking get? And every employee has to be on it. Okay. And the government's running it. The Podesta brothers, who I don't know, are doing that apparently. Oh god, it goes deep. People went to go shoot up the pizza parlor, which wasn't funny. Pizza rules, guys.
Yeah, don't
There's
shoot up
plenty
a
of
pizza
other
place.
places to leave in shambles. Leave pizza alone.
Just people trying to run a pizza.
Pizzagate's pretty good. I'm trying to think of ones that are not overdone.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting crazy these days. There's
A new conspiracy all the time.
a new one coming around all the time. The Rothschilds, that's gonna take a whole one in itself.
Is there one for the Vegas shooting? Because I feel like there's no one's looked into that. I feel like
there's some good ones.
News.
There are some good ones. So let's talk. Okay, so there's stuff that connects it with the Saudis. There's one that connects it with Stephen Paddock being a CIA a CIA weapons dealer. He was a arms dealer.
Go into that because I haven't heard any of this shit. And I feel like no one talks
there's
about
a
it.
bunch of
Like,
different variations ones, and I really, before I talk about it in depth, would need to calibrate my research because, for whatever it's worth, as cool and as much stuff. I mean, it's not cool, but as much stuff was going on around it. That was just one of those ones. I'm like, I could step off this one and look more about aliens and stuff. But let me speak on it for a minute. So the main anomaly that that throws everyone off is that this guy wasn't recorded on any cameras, bringing various pounds and pounds of weapons.
Not recorded on a single camera.
Not recorded at all. And
in a casino.
In a casino. Mind you, these motherfuckers can see if you're card counting from a camera. They'll watch you on a camera and they can tell if you're...
That's the thing that I didn't get. When I heard that, I was like, that just makes no sense.
Yeah, okay, so that's a little fishy, right? no footage of this guy bringing so many weapons to his room.
Could he have fit them in like a suitcase or something?
Something you'd have to do multiple trips for. In addition, like as I said,
Like,
these
no
people
footage-
at casinos, the security and Las Vegas casinos are the best in the world. Meant for
Dude, I got drugs just taken away from me, just like walking around in the casino.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, okay, so I mean,
I got like drugs taken away from me just walking around. It's like, how did this guy bring up like all these guns?
yeah. So exactly. So that's where the
Jesus, I did not think about that at all.
Can you let her co-host in? Hey, call her if you need to.
Do we?
You may
Huh?
phone.
Do we
I
need?
think so. Anyways, so yeah, co-host coming. Yeah, so that's the first anomaly with that. Okay, yeah, and so apparently, like, one floor of the hotel is owned by another chain. See, I need to really brush up on it, but all the conspiracies are there. What's pretty obvious is that we're not getting the whole picture. I think days after this happened, his brother, who was also in the same business, got taken down for something else, like, completely unrelated. But
Did the brother say that like his brother, he couldn't imagine his brother doing something like this? Like it was like his brother it wasn't even that, like, didn't show signs of being crazy at all or anything until
he just snapped and did
Yeah.
it. So it's probably like a front of some sort. Shit happens, you know. People also forget
mind control
like,
drugs.
Yeah, MK Ultra is still a thing, guys. What, you think they just stopped testing stuff on people because they said so? They never told us they were doing it first. Like, you know, like they're still doing that. I mean, motherfucker, the Unabomber was one of the proven MK Ultra people. The Unabomber was one of the so yeah, he was one of the children of that experiment. So we have historical context. We have literal historical context of this kind of stuff happening. So look into it deeper. It's an interesting one. I will probably visit it again once I've done some more research because I think I'm gonna have to dive deep into that. But people, people did get hurt, and it's a serious thing. People did die, and that's unfortunate.
It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
You still there, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm there.
Cool.
You guys can't hear me.
What? Any other conspiracies?
I mean, like, there's the classics, but I feel like those are always talked about. Trying to think of. You were talking about some alien ones. Like, what are some alien ones I might not have heard of that are not like the classic?
Not the classic alien.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of my favorite
like
ones.
not the pyramids, not
yeah. So we're going alt aliens, the alt aliens,
Alternative aliens.
So we can. My favorite one, and one that's not really talked about, is the idea that aliens may not necessarily, and me and Xander have talked about in the show, but aliens may not exist far away from us as much as they exist parallel to us. So it's not a matter of like transversing the universe to reach these things. It's a matter of dialing into, changing, or different. It's more about different dimensions than actual space, like units of
space
distance.
time.
Yeah, measurement distance. It's more about transversing different dimensions. And there's a little evidence to that could point to that in terms of the extraterrestrial phenomena. For example, the DMT experience, which we've touched on, where somewhat close to 50 to 60% of people, despite age, background, and language, report contact with similar entities.
Culture
and yeah,
cross culture.
Exactly. And so that's evidence pointing to that. We can talk about how time dilation happens in encounters with UFOs, which leads us to believe it's fundamentally linked to the experience of consciousness. And manipulating time usually means, I mean, not usually, because I can't say usually, but usually there's some dimension. I mean, to my understanding, there's some dimensional work at play when you're talking about time manipulation and time dilation. That's like what a Wrinkle in Time is, that amazing book, which they're making a movie.
A great book.
Oprah, don't run for president, but definitely make a good A Wrinkle in Time movie. I like that book a lot. Oprah for sure. I mean, dude, let's just get Hulk Hogan, bro.
Hulk Hogan's dumber,
Oh yeah, Hulk Hogan is dumber, but he has much bigger muscles. So Oprah, if you want to bulk up, like you got to show Russia who's boss.
Isn't it just going to be like The Rock, though, like legitimately?
The Rock. Let's get The Rock. That's a good. We have another call, so I gotta let you off.
Sorry
for a
if I wasted
second.
your guys' time.
No, it's great to hear from you, Daniel.
All right, take care. What's up, Ari?
Thank you, caller one.
All right, we're picking up with Taylor. 1 second. Taylor,
Call from.
you're oh, is that porn? Is he playing porn in the background?
Oh, press 2.
What?
Okay. I've sent the caller voicemail.
Oh, he hung up. I'm pretty sure I heard some moaning. Let me get in touch with Taylor. 1 second. Xander, take it away. Talk some shit for a second.
What to talk about today? Last time we talked a little bit about NASA. I wonder how much of a front. I was thinking a little bit about conspiracy theories around NASA, and I was thinking how much of a military front they could just be, just another way to get military dollars. What do you mean? Because they have budget limits there, and they could spend this stuff through. They could still. That's another way to route contracts to Boeing for like rocket engineering, and building basically the same shit that they're building for the military. Yeah. What's Neuralink? Oh, yes, I did hear a little bit about that. That is really interesting. That's one of the things we need is a real lie detector test, like something that actually works. And that the neural net would allow us to do that. It would allow you to like hook up and be able to read someone's intentions immediately. That would be really trippy. I don't know if that would be a good thing all the time, but it's coming.
Actually get like, did that moaning actually get registered?
The moaning got registered. Hello, Taylor. How you doing? Caller number 2.
Is this the real Xander?
It is. The one and only.
Oh, the moaning got registered! Sweet!
He's trying to do something silly, and it's not working, so...
Well, I'm trying to watch you on the screen, but then I realized there's like a 30-second
yeah,
delay.
there's a delay. You can't do that.
Damn. All right. Well, what's up? Welcome.
So,
thank you for having the Dark Lord.
Yeah,
On the show.
I missed. It was good to have you last time.
Yeah, the Dark Lord had some some dark magic rituals of family dinners to attend to.
Oh, classic.
So, yeah. So what's going on? Thank you guys for coming onto my show here. I really appreciate you guys making the time to.
Fuck off! This is my show. Fuck you. Fuck you. This is my show. Are you gonna talk about some trippy conspiracies, or what? Because if not, you can.
We're talking about conspiracies. All right. So here's one. Here we go. I got one.
No, wait. Is it family friendly?
Not about hentai.
Yeah, of course.
Is it about hentai?
No, God.
All right, not interested. Next. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Okay. So let's hear this conspiracy. We have a great conspiracy, guys, coming up just for you.
All right. Look.
After this break.
First, I got to give you the background of how I the podcast.
Okay.
And so here's the thing. I have this friend named Siraj, and he sometimes goes by the Mirage. And
Fuck off. Taylor, this isn't.
And he
Are you going to talk about some satanic sex orgies or what, dude? That's what I'm waiting to hear about.
No, I'm gonna talk about the Sirius connection.
Okay, yes, perfect. I actually wanted to talk about that. That's really cool
What's this?
because I forgot all this. I wanted to talk about that on my way over, but I haven't looked into that in a long time, and I forgot all the cool shit that I wanted to remember. So, can you tell us a little bit about Sirius? We'll give you a couple minutes.
So I mean, I don't really know much, but there's this book called Cosmic Trigger that I was told to read, and I finally sat down to read it this morning.
I gave you that book, and it took you fucking forever to read it. It's a good book.
Yeah, so I finally got to page 19 where the Sirius connection is beginning. And I think it's really interesting how they're pulling in a lot of the Sumerian gods into play with this, but then they also have things from the Zen tradition and all these other different kind of like mystical, sometimes Western scientists that are actually starting to bring some of these connections up. Where it totally loses me, though, is when they bring in the Kennedy assassination, because the first sentence is, while conducting peyote research in Yellow Springs, Ohio, weirder business was afoot in New Orleans.
Yo,
and
Yellow Springs,
it's just like
intermission. Yellow Springs, Ohio. We've been there. Chill as fuck. That place is. Who would have thought? I mean, no offense, Ohio, but I mean, who would have thought? Right?
Is that the hippie town where we went to on the road trip?
That's where we chilled at. Caller, I don't know, but is a fan of our show.
Yeah. Wait, so that's where we hung out with that just turned 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Remember?
It was a good time. Yeah. So Yellow.
Wait, that was bomb-ass pizza, though. Can we talk about how good that pizza was?
Man, that pizza was so good. And, dude, that crazy story. Okay, guys, story time.
This is the content.
Story time. It's not a conspiracy, but I'm going to tell you about Yellow. Taylor, thanks for joining us. Time for you to fuck off.
All right, I'll go read Cosmic Trigger.
All right, yeah, read it. It's a good book. I recommend everyone read it. So before we get into the music portion of the show, we're gonna talk about this one story that I had passing through Yellow Springs, Ohio. Now, we were on a road trip, me and a couple of friends, and we were just coming back from staying at Alex Gray's little Airbnb. For those that don't know Alex Gray, yeah. So it's an Airbnb. It's his property, and you're allowed to hang out there. We stayed there for a couple of days, and we had some.
Did you get to hang out with Alex?
No, he was playing Infrasound Festival, painting for Noisia or something. They were headlining at Tipper Noisia or something. No, it wasn't Tipper.
Painting for them.
Yeah. It was
live
Noisia
painting.
Chipangle, yeah. So,
that's pretty cool.
So we were coming back from Alex Gray's spot, and we had to pass through Indiana, and we were like, okay, we could stay in Indiana, or we could stay in this kind of town I heard about. It's a little out of the way, but we should stay in and check it out. And we ended up staying at this town. It was Yellow Springs, Ohio, and it was absolutely beautiful. Now, as soon as we get there, I wanted to, get a little ganja, listen to some reggae or whatever. And we were in a foreign town, so no one knew anyone, so I immediately took to the streets. I found one kid that, pretty much, he just looked like just the right dude to ask. So the first dude I asked, I go up to him hey, bud, you got any smokes we could share?
Hey, bud, can I get some bud?
Yeah, hey, bud, can I get some bud? And he's like, yeah, just come with me. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Come with me. So he comes back in 5 minutes. I go with him, and we hop in his car, and we go off. And he's we start talking, and he starts telling me this story. He's like, yeah, you look like an interesting person, so I wanted to talk with you. He's like, I've just been meeting the most interesting people in my life for the past week, and I want to keep it going. And I'm like, oh, what's been going on? He's like, well, I've been taking acid every day for the past week, and this is the last day, and I've been upping my dose, and this is the last day. And in this week, I have had the strangest experience. And I'm like, okay, tell me more. And he goes, it started with me taking a bunch of acid and going into the woods. I'm like, okay. And he's like, I go into the woods, and I start camping there. And he goes, the second night I'm there, I meet a girl in the middle of the woods at midnight, or like at 2 a.m. Me and this girl start hanging out. We pretty much start falling for each other. And then I go, man, I really wish we had some DMT. And then he looks on the floor, and there was a bag of DMT in the middle of the floor, in the middle of the woods. So him and this girl find it. They're like, okay, let's smoke it. They smoke the DMT.
How do they know it's DMT?
Because it looks like DMT.
You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell.
So they smoke the DMT. The guy has a great experience.
Then you would know once you smoke it.
He sees a vision of an eye at the top of the roof of the woods, like kind of where all the trees are. He sees a vision of an eye looking down at him. And it's like beautiful and all that. And he's like, wow, that's amazing. And then the girl smokes it. Mind you, before this, also, she told the guy that she's never had an orgasm. So then she smokes it, has a full body orgasm. And the guy's like, whoa, freaking out. And then he's like, oh, how was it at the end of it? And the girl doesn't know who she is. Like, she's completely out of it. Just gone. And so the guy starts freaking out. Now, the next day's came, and the guy's freaking out because now he's in the middle of the woods with this lady who doesn't know who she is, and all they know is that they did drugs together. So if he goes back to town, there is no way that this story's going to turn out good. So he's freaking out and doesn't know what to do, and so they stay in the woods for like another day or something, and then one day, at one point, now the next order of events, I don't remember what happens first, but the next day comes, and the girl's father comes looking for the girl, shouts his name, finds the dude, starts yelling at him, flipping out, going crazy on him, and like, the dude essentially runs off or something, and he comes back to the dude. Okay, no. So what happens was the father starts yelling at him, and the guy just like says this, like who he is specifically, like as bluntly as he could, tries to be respectful and all this stuff. Dad's not having it, and something happens, and a day or two passes, and he sneaks out and grabs the girl, and they go off into the woods again or some shit like that. Okay, here, sorry. I told you I was jumbling the order, and I remembered what happened. Okay, sorry. So I knew I was telling that some part of it wrong. So essentially, before the dad comes, the lady, we're just after the lady forgot her identity. They're in the woods. They're hanging out in the woods. A day passes. She's still freaking out, doesn't know what to do. And then a guy shows up in the woods saying, I have something for you, to him and the girl. And gives the girl this stone and presses it against her, and the girl's memory comes back. And the guy, when that happened, was freaking out, like, what the fuck? How'd you know what to do? And he starts looking up, and he sees the foliage of the trees above him are making the eye he saw in his vision. And so then later on the next day, the dad comes. Dad doesn't actually freak out. Dad freaks out that his daughter's been missing, but his daughter remembers who she is now, and it snaps back to it because some Native American guy in the middle of the woods found them and gave them a stone. Anyways, so Dad shows up. He like essentially tries making good with Dad. Dad isn't having it, knows something's up but doesn't know what. And essentially, I met him the next day, and right after all this happened. And, he told me this story when I was, And I was like, dude, cool, man. Do you have that weed? You know? And we went and got pizza. And, you know, that's a story. I'll see. We're gonna listen to music. We're gonna listen to some music that a couple of our friends have been making around the community. I hope you guys stay and enjoy. We're gonna be having some parties coming up. You can join us for our weekly loop every Wednesday. It's really fucking fun.
The Massive.
Good platform to communicate with people like us. You know, it's a good way to hang out with me. I need more friends. I don't have any.
Same.
So we're doing that. We're going to be throwing a party February 10th. 10th? I'm pretty sure it's the 10th. February 10th. Yeah, February 10th. Thank you. February 10th. We're throwing a party February 10th.
Yeah, February 10th.
Yeah, we hope to party soon. So with you guys soon. So talk some shit in the comments. Send hate mail to Jeremy. And I love you guys.
Woo!
Let's listen to some tunes.
I got one.
So you want to preview a tune of yours?
Yeah, I'm down.
So we have Chief Jesta. He's gonna be showing off a tune or two. Yeah, come party with us, guys. What? No, this is later. We're gonna have it the next one. Yeah, we're supposed to be this one a little late. Whatever. Hey guys, this is Ari, by the way.
Hello. All right.
If it's going through this feed, we'll go through that one with the mixer. It is. Sounds like the signal's a little blown out. Right? Here, let's do this. We're gonna switch it. Okay, here we go. Now we have some clean audio. So this is me and Tyler Prism. It's a halftime track we worked on recently. Very exciting. Check it out. By the way, I'm Chief Jester. Okay, 1 second. Oh no, it's going in hot for round 2. We're gonna hear it again, guys.
So, it's on, yeah?
I think it's on, yeah. Try it. Find out if it's on. And if it's on, it'll be on.
All right. Well, let's see. Sound check. It should be playing. Yeah, cool. So, yeah. You hear me? Yeah? There we go. Yes. So, this tune, so some context. Last time I played a tune of mine that I was working on, and, okay. Hello? Yeah. Hello? Yeah, I'm doing it. Hello? Yeah, there we go. This one works best. So, last time I played a tune of mine that I was working on, and it dawned on me I forgot to give a shout out to my friend that I was working on with. So, rather than playing that tune again, I'd rather just play another one of his. So, this is a tune by a producer named Alex Amami, based in New York. Very good fellow, very good tunes. Check it out. A lot of soul in this one.
This way you moan it. Can't believe I met you on another planet just to zone it. Maybe I was tripping, could have been a hallucination, but I knew what I was feeling, I knew what I was tasting. Oh, baby girl, I gotta know if you feel the same. In this rendezvous, then I make you wanna scream my name. When you woke up, was you thinking about me? Can you be my dream free? Hold up, before you go to sleep tonight. Think about me, I'll be waiting on the other side. Baby, let go, let our spirits intertwine. I see you in my dream. Let's meet up, same place, same time. Baby, when I roll up, hop in and let's fly. We can wait so long. Let me take you on this ride through my solar natural fantasy. I'm at work and I'm thinking about you, how it felt when I used to touch you. I remember when I just wanted to get to know you. You used to take my breath away from me every time I saw you. But I can't be with you because you already got somebody. Now I can't wait to get home and get into my bed. Never ending thoughts of you go running through my head. Babe, before you go to sleep, remember I'll be waiting on the other side of the dream. Hold up, before you go to sleep tonight. Just think about me, I'll be waiting on the other side. Baby, let go, let our spirits intertwine. I see you in my dreams. Let's meet up, same place, same time. Baby, when I roll up, hop in and let's fly. We can wait so long. Let me take you on this ride through my solar natural fantasy. Baby, let go, let our spirits intertwine. I see you in my dreams. Let's meet up, same place, same time. Baby, when I roll up, hop in and let's fly. We can be so long. Let me take you on this ride through my solar natural fantasy.
Alex Amami for you. What a jam that was. Check him out. I'm going to play some songs that are going to be released with Jesta soon, where some songs we're working on. Before I play that, I want to play some weird song that I'm never going to finish. You know, it's just been sitting around. But the intro is really cool, so I want to play that for you. I haven't opened this file in like a year, so maybe it'll sound like shit, in which case I'll stop it in a second. But the intro is cool as fuck. Oh, what is going on here? Something's wrong there. Let's see here. Oh, files are missing. That explains it. So I can't be playing this right now. Oh well, guys. That's why I haven't opened it. Haven't opened it and used it. Rewind. It was a dub plate that got ruined, actually. So it was an original press, got ruined. But don't worry, we got some other tasty treats coming up. This one is going to be released very soon. It's called Spun Out. Little fun fact about this is the first track me and Jesta worked on together. Cranked it out really pretty quickly, you know. And, it's a banger. So fasten them seatbelts. Here we go.
Not no more. Put my trust in you, no rules.
That's a hot mic there. I could talk 2 feet away from this thing.
Yeah, why is
Because of the monitors right here.
But it wasn't doing that before.
Because you were low. I don't know. Well, either way, I'm gonna see if this other channel works. We're gonna keep, it's part of the show. That one.
There we go. All right, guys. Yeah. So that one's called Stumble Step, coming soon. And we have another tune coming up from our boy Jester.
This is actually from me and Paul. If you guys know Paul, he's a homie in the scene. Yeah, this is a bunch of live music we did. We did a bunch of guitar and bass and stuff over this and made some synths. It sounds, oh, it's still blown out. That sucks. I wonder why that is. Cool though, it's lo-fi. We'll listen to the lo-fi version of it. I tried to switch the channel here. Let's see what happens. That's what it sounds like, kind of.
Alrighty, guys. That was Getting Through It by Chief Jesta. Smooth tune. And Paul. Guys. So this is kind of untitled, just kind of random shit hop beat I made. Let's see how it is. I don't know, guys. Could be. What if ambient deathcore jungle? My bad.
anybody watching, let all your friends know who produce. And if you yourself produce music, send us your music if you want a platform to release it on. We're accepting all genres, and we just want to share the platform with all the local producers in the scene. And let's all collectively put really dope music out together with all of our forces combined, and really share that shit with the world, because that's what we're all trying to do, right? We all love what we do. Hopefully we all love what we do. And if you love making music, you should send it to us, and we'll help you share it to the world. Hopefully.
Unless it sucks, then just send it to Jeremy Rascal. Send him as much happy hardcore as possible. We want songs that are sapping. J-pop, Korean pop music is a soft spot for Jeremy. Send it his way. Yeah. One more thing.
Oh yeah, and the place to send those submissions to would be demos at the good ones. I'm sure. I mean, that's subjective. I'm sure they're all great. But yeah, if they're not Siraj's liking, he's gonna send them to Rascal. Rascal, get ready. You better make some dope visuals for all the music you're gonna get sent. It's your duty. All right, and so submit to demos@noiserevolt.com. Submit.
I know, I guess if there's any rappers that would want to get on in this, you could contact us too. I mean, I just threw this beat together in 2 hours or an hour or something, so I know if you guys want to collab, whatever, dude, unnamed, but if anyone wants to name that song, drop a name in the comments. Maybe you guys can help me name it. It doesn't have a name yet, so drop it in the comments. We're gonna on to the next one. This next one's De La Moon Tribe and Chief Jesta, De La Moon Tribe. Most dangerous couple around.
Yeah, we made this one a month or two ago. We just made another one a few weeks ago. It's really dope also. I might share it with you guys, I might not. It's not that far along, but it's pretty fucking dope. I'm not gonna lie, pretty stoked. But this one's good too, listen to it.
I spent all this time talking. How are you guys doing? How you feeling? Don't let us know, I don't really care. I feel good. To you. This goes out to you. NASA. Throw a zero gravity party environment. Zero gravity environment party. Throw a party in zero gravity. Be useful for a change. All right, guys. Well, join us next time where we're going to be talking about cryptos and conspiracies around cryptocurrency. We're going to be talking about VR. We're going to be reaching out to local movers and shakers of the community. We hope to have, the Terra Chroma boys on, Terra Chroma crew come on, talk a little bit about their thing. But, if you are doing anything cool in Los Angeles and, want to give yourself a platform, maybe talk about it, feel free to reach out. Come connect. Let's hang out. The show's going to go on a little hiatus. We're going to be back in a month. But, I know, go build some trippy shit in that time. And then, I'll take credit for it on this show. Catch you guys later.